Welcome to ReThink You, bringing you ideas, inspiration, and motivation to start living the life you were created to live. Here is your host, author, trainer, speaker, and coach, and founder of ReThink You, Kim Levings.
Well, hello there. It's Kim Levings with ReThink You, and welcome back to the ReThink You podcast. I'm excited today to introduce you to another friend and fellow student from our Les Brown class, and Les Brown was our mentor. And this is Tarnya, and Tarnya is regarded as a respected and influential speaker. She's based in the UK, and she has over 17 years experience speaking on many platforms. So I'm especially blessed to have her on this platform. Tarnya is also distinguished for her down-to-earth approach to empowering women and helping individuals live a life of purpose. Tarnya is also a self-published author, and her best-selling book, Open Doors, has been rated as inspirational by many readers, and she's a member of the Association of Freelance Writers. So for all those reasons, you can see why I'm excited to bring Tarnya today to the ReThink You podcast. She's also a personal development coach, the same as me, and she dispenses keys to success that actually work and result in transforming the lives of hundreds of women. And she helps women make their goals a reality. Tarnya also loves inspiring others to dream big, and her tips are practical and easy to execute, which again, those of you who know me know why I resonate so with Tarnya. We're very similarly wired. And Tarnya says it's essential to believe in yourself because that's where it all starts. So Tarnya, thank you for being here. And why don't you jump in and tell us more about your story?
Okay, thank you, Kim, for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Yes, and we do connect on so many different levels, and it's just great to be here. So rewinding a little bit, I graduated at university as a teacher. And that's how I started out many years ago. And then I became a lecturer, and I did that for 15 years. And I absolutely enjoy teaching. I enjoy imparting knowledge to my students and they've come to achieve a goal and they get it. And after a while, I thought to myself, am I fulfilling my full potential? And I remember my pastor at church said, are you owning your future? And that was back in 2017 of Christmas. And I thought to myself, I'm not really owning my future. And it made me stop and pause about my life and where I was and what I was doing. And I really enjoyed it. But there was a void. I don't know if anyone can connect with that. There was just something missing. And I decided, after a long, hard thing and discussing this with my husband, I handed in my notice of the summer 2018. And January the 1st, 2018, I decided I'm going to write my story, Open Doors. And it all starts with my mum when she had me in the 70s and she was 16. Her boyfriend had left her and her dad told her to leave home. And that was her beginning. But our start doesn't have to be our end. And she was the first person in their family to graduate university. And that's where my story starts, about being, born to a teenage mom, having that lack of confidence. My dad, he didn't want to know me, the rejection, and all those pain points. And in my story, I talk about how we overcome and how we can open these doors of opportunities and walk right through them, because our story doesn't define who we are. And that's what I talk about. And then I retrained as a personal development coach, because I've been doing it for all these years in teaching and lecturing. And I thought, you know what, I can do this full time. So I retrained, became a personal development coach and a speaker. And that's what I now do, is help women like myself who felt stuck and get them unstuck, help them to refine their vision, and so they can be unstoppable to pursue their goals and their dreams, because we can often get overwhelmed with our present circumstances and wanting to move forward but unsure how to. So that's what I do now, is help people. And then writing my story, Kim, it took me 6 weeks to write my first book, Open Doors. And then I subsequently went on to write other books. The Simple Way to Get Motivated. If you know me, I like things simple. And it's a 365 motivational book to help people with their mindsets, especially in this pandemic. And then I wrote a goal planner to help people get organized and be productive, because I like to set goals and take action, and that's what I help people with.
That's powerful. So thank you so much. You said so much in just those first few minutes. And if anyone's listening to this and they happen to be driving or in a position that they can't make notes, I would encourage them to listen to it when you have a pen in your hands. So you said a lot of really great things there, Tarnya. And I love how you pointed out that sometimes in life we get messages from different sources. So, you were already stirred and aware of a greater purpose when your pastor asked that pivotal question. And I love how you also said our start doesn't have to define our end. So important. And so many people get trapped in a situation, and a little bit like you did, where you just kind of go down a certain path and you just keep pedaling down that path. You don't think of stepping out of it. So don't see everything in life as a mistake. But if you're able to find your purpose and get that empowerment to step out and do something, that is phenomenal. So tell us more about, and listen, I'm taking my hat off to you that you could write a book in 6 weeks. That's powerful. Tell us more about other tools that you've developed, and, what are some of the life lessons that you've learned along the way that you'd like to pass on?
Well, yes, there's many, many life lessons. I think we should write a book on life lessons, Kim. I think it'd be powerful, especially during this time. People, we look at our stories, we look at our lives, and we think, look what I've been through, look what I've done. But remember that education is never complete. We'll always continue to learn and develop. So I say to live our lives full and die empty, continually learning. That's one of the lessons that I would share with people, that your education is never complete. Whatever you're going through right now, look at what can I learn from this, and look at it as a lesson. And remember, you're going to teach that lesson to somebody else who's going through a similar situation. Another lesson that I think about of my life is not allowing the voice of fear to be louder than the other voices. Because I don't know about anybody else, but me, I allowed fear to paralyze me from doing certain things that I wanted to do in life. But the voice of fear was so loud that it stopped me in my tracks, and I couldn't move forward. Well, I thought I couldn't move forward because I didn't have the tools that I have now. So do not allow the voice of fear to be louder than the other voices. And another life lesson I love is no test, no testimony. You've got to learn from what you are going through, because we're always going to be tested in life. And that's some of the lessons that I would share with people.
So good. And I love that, no test, no testimony, because we do learn lessons in those trials and those setbacks. And, Tarnya, I wonder if you could share with us, what are some of the fears that you faced? What were some of those fears that sort of put up that huge wall for you that you had to push through?
Wow. So that was fear of failure. I was always taught, you've got to try and you've got to do well, but never being taught that actually you learn from your failures. So I didn't want to fail at anything, because I'm kind of like a perfectionist. I have to get things right. So I didn't want to fail. So I didn't try, because I thought, I'm going to fail this. So don't try so you don't fail. Not thinking, actually, if I fail at this, there's a lesson to learn. So that was one of my fears. Another fear was stepping out of my comfort zone, because when you step out, you're being vulnerable. People are seeing all sides of you, and I didn't like that. I wanted to see people see me perfect. This is me, and this is how I get things done. And I thought, no, if I want to progress and move forward and see the results in my life, I have to step out of my comfort zone. So those are the big things, Kim, that was stopping me from moving forward.
Right. And so common. So thank you for sharing those with us. And, so many times I think that at the root of the fear of failure is, as you said, that performance or that participation expectation of ourselves to be good and to excel at things that perhaps we haven't yet learned how to do. And we have to figure it out as we go, as they say, jump out the plane and sort of grow your wings on your way down, is a better way to live, because sometimes you'll discover strengths that you never knew you had. And just a common one. So good for you for overcoming the voice of fear. And it's good that you pointed out that the voice of fear sometimes is louder than the others. And I say to people, it's not like you have to extinguish the voice of fear. You have to acknowledge it and say, yeah, I see you, I hear you, but I'm going to go do this anyway. And it's just pushing through that. So, and, but I also realize sometimes, Tarnya, in our lives that even though we get on track and we're doing things, we sometimes can get off track and we suddenly find ourselves stuck in the forest and we can't see the forest for the trees and we get a little lost. So talk to us about some of the times in your journey over the last few years that perhaps things haven't been as smooth, where you've got off track.
Well, that's a great question, because we do get off track, and it's acknowledging, we've been off track, but we don't stay off track because it's not going to bring any fruit. So I remember when I first started my business, I don't know about you, Kim, but I just thought, I was really excited. Yes, I'm going to get all these clients. I'm going to help loads of people. It's, everyone's going to be knocking on my door to help them. Everyone's going to come on my course. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Then the reality was, who is Tarnya? Oh my goodness. Even though I was like so sure of what I do and this is going to be great, for months I was like to my husband, no one's knocking on my door, banging it down, help me. I'm like, what is this? And I allowed that to kind of stop me for a while. And I stopped for about 6 months and I just thought, maybe I heard wrong. Maybe this wasn't what I meant to do. Maybe I should go back to my lecturing job. And that was the voice of fear trying to get me back into my comfort zone, where things are comfortable, it's nice, a regular salary, knowing what's to come, etc. And I sat there and I just thought, I'm not sure if I can do this. This is not what I thought it was going to be like. I had a different picture in my head. But when we are given a vision, our vision and our purpose is not for us, it's for others. So I had to continue going, and I had to be consistent with what I was doing and showing up. And throughout this last year of lockdown, that's the key thing that I have learned, is consistency, is showing up and serving other people. Why am I here? I'm not here to serve Tarnya and have this little pity party because no one's banging down my door. But it was about, who are you, Tarnya? Let people know who you are. Be consistent with your message. Show up, serve others. And that's what I did. And I got myself back on track. I had a little pity party by myself. No one was invited, for a little bit. And then I got back on track and I just kept on going. And like we said up before, what did I learn through this process? And it was learning about that what I'm doing, it's not for me, it's for others. And I can't just do things for a few minutes and then think, why is no one showing up? I've got to be consistent, keep on going, because just before you give up, there's your breakthrough. So you have to keep on going, and keep on going, because the results will come.
So good. Absolutely. Because too many times we do give up. And I totally identify with that, sometimes we walk around with rose-colored glasses on and we think, oh, this is going to be wonderful. And I've walked the same journey. I know that's why we get on so well, Tarnya, that even with ReThink You, how I would, pick it up. And if it didn't immediately succeed, I would just ignore it and go back and take a job or another gig. And not doing that anymore. As you said, that consistency of sticking to it, because people need what we have. And those life lessons are important, and just so important. But as you continue to go through some of these challenges, I also know that we're all uniquely gifted and talented. So what gifts and talents did you recognize within yourself, and how did you actually leverage those as you've gone through some of these tough elements of your journey?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I believe all of us, we have gifts and talents. And through this pandemic, where we may have lost our jobs, maybe on furlough. It's about looking at what we're good at and being able to use that to serve others and even to monetize what we have. And I realized throughout the years of my teaching and lecturing that I would show people different steps, giving people ideas of what they can do. Yes, I was teaching them, to get through their degree and become doctors, nurses, whatever they wanted to be. But also they had personal goals. And I used to help them at the beginning of class. They wrote, write down your goals. Come on, everybody. And they go, oh, this is a different type of lesson today. And I realized that people were following my steps, taking my advice and actually achieving. And I thought, this is something that I could do full time, is helping people achieve their goals. Because I know I've been in a place where I was stuck. I was lacking confidence, low self-esteem, I had rejection issues. And I used steps to overcome that. I had a coach, a mentor to help me. As I say, you can't see the full picture when you're in the frame. And I thought I can be that help to others, because it can be so frustrating, Kim, when you're in a place and you've got this vision and it's so big and you just don't know what to do. You don't know where to start, how to get unstuck, or you're in a situation that you don't want to be in. But how do I do that? And it's about giving people those steps, because we don't know the how sometimes. And it's breaking it down. I like things very simple, not complicated, just simple. And I say to people, right, just do this today. Right, do that tomorrow. Do that. And then they realize, wow, your hand held me through the process. And that's why I became a coach, because I realized I have this gift of being able to help people, and not just help them get unstuck, help them achieve their life goals, write their books, start their business. And I thought, wow. And that's why I started to do what I do.
That's great. So, the gift of teaching and stumbling on discovering something that you're good at, that you're doing anyway. I love to tell people that there's no mystery to discovering your gifts and talents. The chances are it's something that you do so naturally and you're so good at it that you don't even think about it as a gift or a skill. So anything else, what else did you learn in your 15 years of teaching that has now helped you in your business as a coach? How have you leveraged those things?
Well, I was thinking about that today, actually, and it's about transferable skills. Because when we step into new things, we think, oh, I can't do that. But if you reflect on what you've done previously, and then you can transfer those skills over. So I remember I had an opportunity. It was a great opportunity. It was a very stressful time. And I was asked alongside my colleagues to write a degree for Sheffield Hallam University. And I just thought, all right, I'm going to get some time off to do this. No, you're working full time and you're still going to write this degree as well. And I thought, okay, they must have faith in me to be able to do it. But we did it under immense pressure. And then when I left my job, I thought to myself, I wanted to write my own coaching program. And I thought, we're going to have to hire somebody, write some content, do this and do that. And somebody said to me, well, if you've written a degree, I'm sure you can write a coaching program. Because when you're teaching, we have to look at learning outcomes. We have to look at learning objectives and all those things, the key words. And I thought, okay, yeah. So I did. I wrote my own coaching program and then subsequently writing other courses. And I thought, oh, that's good. And I started to reflect, what other things have I done? So I've been obviously speaking to students for 15 years of doing one-to-ones, doing groups, talking to them in lecture halls, talking to them in classrooms. I'm able to do that with my workshops. I can, because when I first started out, Kim, I was like nervous. I was like, I'm not sure if I could do an hour and a half workshop. But then on a Monday when I was lecturing, I used to teach from 9:30 till 5 PM. So I thought, of course I can do it. So you just thought, look, you can quickly forget what we've done before. And then it's like, okay, let me reflect. So I wrote down everything that I did in my job and then how I can transfer that. I did consultations with students, I did board meetings. I can do this in my job that I'm doing now. So everything that I've learned, I think it was a training ground, Kim. 15 years of training me and learning lessons to then be able, because one day God was like, okay, you're going to run your own business, and everything that you've learned in those 15 years, you're going to take with you and you're going to apply that in your job. So that's what I've been doing.
Oh, yeah, that's so wonderful. And what a great story. Because so many times, too, if somebody is in a job, particularly if they're not happy in a job, because I know some people are very happy at work, and that's not a criticism, but so many times the jobs that we're in are teaching us critical skills. And when you're able to take those blinkers off and say, I can see the whole picture, it also brings joy back into your current work situation if you're able to concentrate on what the job is teaching you and say, hey, I can use my time of growth and learning while working for somebody else, knowing that I'm positioning myself for whatever the next chapter is of my life. That is so good. So Tarnya, tell us, what are you excited about right now? What is your big picture goal, and what's on your I must get it done this year list?
Okay, if you're anything like me, everything must be done now. Everything's got to be done now. My husband's always saying, slow down. But what I am working on, which I am really excited about, is my 4th book. And my son came to me during the lockdown. We're still on lockdown, Kim. Oh my goodness, this is our 3rd lockdown. And he said to me, Mum, why don't you write a book on your famous tagline that you always sign off with? Plan it, see it, anticipate it. And I thought, why didn't I think of that? And I tell you, I said to my husband from when I wrote my first book, I'm not writing any more books. That's me. I'm done. And my husband's like, you can't say you're finished. You cannot say that you're done. You're just getting started. So my 4th book now, and I thought, okay, I could write a book on Planet C, anticipate it. And it's about goal setting, taking action and mindset. So I started writing it, and because I think it was in me just to do this, and I've finished it now. So I'm just going over it before I hand it over to my editor. So this is what I'm really excited about, because this new project, I'm building workshops around it. I'm building workbooks around it. So I'm really, really excited about this new project, Kim.
That's so exciting. I love that. And in fact, it reminded me to also take a step back, because I'm going to come back to this book. I love that tagline. But I meant to ask you earlier, tell us about Open Doors. What is the main message of that book? And, what do you hope? What is it about the book that you think readers are finding inspirational? And then I'd love to hear about the other books in between.
Okay, yeah. So Open Doors is, I had it somewhere. So Open Doors, my daughter, when she was, I can't remember now. I'm not going to do the maths. She's 18 now. 3 years ago, when the book came out, I had a picture in my mind of how the book would look, the front cover. And she also had a picture. So I drew it. I can't draw. She's an artist. So she drew it. And I said, yes, that's what I saw. I saw a door open with a light, and it was like a light bulb moment. So I gave it to my illustrator, and he did it for me, digitally done it for me. And for me, what that illustrates is, sometimes for me, when I was growing up, the doors of opportunities were there, but I just stood at the door. The fear paralyzing me, just standing there. The doors are open, but we have a choice whether we walk through them or whether we just stop, because we're unsure of the outcome. So Open Doors, for me, at first, it was just a standing there, and the opportunity was just passing me by, and I wasn't seeing much fruit in my life. Then I realized, no, the door's open, Tarnya. Walk through it. So that's what I did. So that's what it's all about. It's about my journey, overcoming all these challenges of the rejection, the low self-esteem, the lack of confidence, but letting the reader know whatever you're going through, you too can also overcome. And then at the end of the chapter, I write motivational keys on how to live a motivated life. And then, as you said about the other books, that led me on to my other book, which was a 365 motivational book, The Simple Way to Get Motivated. Like I said, I like things simple. And what came to me when I was writing this was, do a 365 motivational book, just some key verses. Some of my favorite, my children always say to me, I've got 2 children, my son's 14 and my daughter's 18. And they always say, Mom, you always coming up with these one-liners. So why don't you come up with some one-liners yourself? So I said, okay. I couldn't think of 365, Kim. I was like, I got to 100 and I said to my husband, I can't think of any more. I'm going to stick to 100. And he went, no, you were given 365. Do 365. So I did the 365. And then to make things more even complicated, Kim, I decided to do them in alphabetical order.
So I love that.
So my brother-in-law, he's an artist. So I said to him, I can see a tree of words. Can you do that for me? So this is a tree of positive words, and the blue represents open doors. But being a Christian, I thought of the Psalms 1, be planted by the rivers of water. So that's what this all represents. And apparently yellow is a motivational color. So that's what I went with. And then my mentor said to me last year, Tarnya, have you ever thought of doing a goal planner? I thought, you can't see the full picture when you're in the frame. I thought, why didn't I think of writing a goal planner? That's just like a no-brainer. So I decided the simple way to get motivated, goal planner. And it's got the tree at the back again, just to encourage and motivate you. Then inside it has weekly schedule, your to-do lists, your wins, things to improve, your habit trackers, your project schedule. So just keep you all in one place. And today, I don't even know, Kim, today is single tasking day. And that's a great tool to use to stay on track, to do one task at a time. If you're like me, I like to do about 10 things at once.
I love that. Thank you so much for, I like to say, give us the color commentary instead of just the book headers. Let's know the story behind them. So I love that. And I really love your use of that sort of imagery and coloring. So
Thank you.
Just powerful. And this book about Plan It, See It, Anticipate It, is that going to be the title of the book? Or
Yes,
are you going to come up with another title?
That is the title. And then I have a subtitle. I think it's 3 Secrets to Achieve Your Goals. I can't remember what the tagline is, something like that, but it's about goal setting. And on the front, it does have a target. So when people look at it, they know it's about goals. Yes.
Fabulous. Fabulous. I love that. And I love how you've brought in the see it and anticipate it, which is the belief and the visualization, which we know is such an important part of achieving your goals. So powerful stuff. I've just loved learning about these things. And I'm sure that the listeners are going to take away lots of takeaways, but tell us, what are you excited about right now? What's on your radar that you'd love people to know about? Besides the book.
Yes, beside the book. I'm also, Kim, recently, last year, Christmas, I think it was, became an accredited training provider for my company. So I can deliver courses now and people can get accredited and achieve a certificate. So my first workshop, which is accredited, which is going to be this Saturday, I don't even know what date I'm on, the 27th of February, goodness, the end of February already. So Saturday coming, I have an accredited course, which is goal setting for success. And it's the first part of my book, Plan It. Because if you're going to do something and go somewhere, I remember, Kim, when I was going to America for the first time a couple of years ago, me and my friend were super excited about going to America, never been. So we had to plan it. We have to get a visa. I was going for a church conference for 10 days. So I thought me and Kim, I love my dresses and I love my shoes and my handbags. So everything had to match. I had a dress in the evening, a dress in the morning, everything had to be planned. Okay, I'm going to America, I'm going to show up. And so we planned it. Because if you're not planning something, I don't know, it's not going to really go right, is it? You're going to get lost. Things are going to go all wonky donkey. So I just thought, okay, let's plan it. So that's the first part. So this Saturday, if you want to come along. It's this Saturday and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Looking at our goals. We're going to be using the goal planner. So if you register, you get a free goal planner. And we're going to use that to help you actually look at one of your goals for 2021. And we're going to actually do a roadmap. And in my book, I talk about the GPS system, which is a goal positioning system. And looking at that and looking at your journey and where you're going. And it's about taking action. So that's what I am super excited about, is having that course.
That's fabulous. And, I would say I also have a class happening on Saturday as well. And I know that so many of us, we have schedule challenges. Hopefully you and I are
Yes.
not overlapping each other. And because excuse me, the Life Mastery class this month is focused on mindset. And next month I'm looking at habits. So I started the year with focus, not in detail with goals though. And that's why I say to folks, it's, we're all coaches, we're all trainers, but our stuff all integrates and dovetails with each other because we're all specialized in different lanes. So I love that. And GPS, yeah, goal positioning system. That's awesome. When do you think your Planet See It anticipated book will be done?
Well, I'm guessing it's going to be about April. The reason why I say April, it was going to be March for my birthday, but I've extended it because I like to just do things. Come on, let's do it. My husband's like, what are you rushing for? Stop rushing. Okay. So I said, okay, I'll slow down. Kim, I tell you, I won a prize. I don't usually win prizes. And my friend did a book challenge, Pastor Tunji, and I did this book challenge. And on one of the days, they said some homework. And I just thought, oh, let me have a look. It'd be nice to win. So I did it. And on the live challenge, he said, Tarnya Coley has won. And what I won is a 30-day accelerated book challenge. And they help you to write your book. If it's already written, you'll get a proofreader to proofread it. You'll get a cover designer, and they will upload it to Kindle for you. I was like, this is perfect for my book. So I've written it, so they're going to proofread it. I've already got my cover designed, but I'm going to see what they can do as well to see if they come up with anything different. So that's why I'm going to extend it a little bit, because I'm going to go on this 30 days. It starts tomorrow. I'm going to do this for 30 days and see what happens. So I'm excited about that.
That's exciting. Yeah, I love it. And I think that you and I are a bit of a hybrid because in many ways, I'm a get it done now. But at other times, I'm really good. I said, I can microwave and I can crock pot. And when it comes to my writing, I tend to be more of a crock pot, not because I procrastinate, because I let things simmer and flavors and thoughts to develop. So I just have a different format. But you're right. It's sometimes great to have a good challenge to keep you focused. That's fabulous.
As a challenge.
That's fabulous. Well, Tarnya, it's been such a great time talking to you. Anything that you'd like to say in closing? And obviously in the show notes, we'll include your website and your information. But what would you like the listeners to remember about you as they tune out and move on with their lives after listening to this?
Yeah, there's two things that I'd like to leave the listeners with. Is remembering that our story, because one day you will tell your story of how you've overcome. Remember that, how you have overcome and what you're going through now. And it's going to become part of somebody else's survival guide. Because what we're going through, our story is not for us. And I said at the beginning, our mess becomes our message. Because we are going to share, as I never knew all these years later that I would share my story and help hundreds of women in the same boat to help them get unstuck. And just like you, Kim, doing what you're doing, absolutely fantastic. And the last thing I always say is take action now. Not tomorrow, not the 1st of March, now. Take one step. And that's all it takes, is one step at a time. And that's how your journey of success is going to begin, is taking that one small step today.
That's fabulous, Tarnya. Thank you. I especially like what you said about story, that our stories are not for us, they're for others. Turn our mess into our messages. That's something I think we've all learned in the last few months from the powerful Les Brown, but also how we're applying it in our own business. So it's my honor to be on this journey with you. And thanks again for spending time with us today.
Thank you, Kim. I've absolutely enjoyed it. Thank you so much.